Well, hey, thanks for coming to meet with me. As I mentioned, I'm Matt Barton. I'm the one
Lee
that called you
Byers.
on the phone. Thanks for coming, Lee. I was just trying to get here. I was a little bit worried. Just kind of get going. I've got a couple of recorders. Actually, I've got kind of a newer Palm Pilot, and this will be sort of a backup recorder. This is our primary one. It's digital. It's new, and I don't know. I'm not real comfortable with it. So I hope that won't, like screw you up or anything if I check it a lot while you're going on. So,
Okay.
anyways.
So what's going to happen with this?
With the study,
Mhm.
well, we just want to find out a little bit about pain and about how because nurses kind of deal with pain, and so that's kind of what we're going to do. I don't really know everything that's going to happen, so we're just going to do the best we can, I guess.
Do you have any information or anything that I could look at?
Like what?
Like telling me what's going on and what
You mean
you're going to do
like
with
an
it?
informed consent statement?
Yeah.
Well, we do, but I was kind of in a hurry to get here, and I took off without it. I can bring one by, the hospital later and drop it off to you. But I wanted to ensure you that it's all been approved by the Institution Review Board, so it's all legit. We have letters and all that kind of stuff, and I can even give you a phone number when we're done if you want to do that. But let me just assure you that despite what's going on, I'm a really good student. I did quite a bit of research in my undergraduate work, and so I'm pretty confident in what's going on. So I guess it might sound kind of funny, but you can trust us. I mean, SUU is a really important player in the community, I think, and so hopefully you'll respect that. Didn't you do your work here, like through Weaver State as an extension?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So
SUU's behind this?
Yeah, SUU's behind it. So and I can try to provide a couple things for you later. But anyways, what I wanted to do was just kind of get going through a couple things. We're going to use what's called the standard interviewing technique. And that's where I'll ask you a series of questions and just try to answer those. I'll try to elaborate quite a bit on them so that we can get to where we need to get to hopefully by the end of this. Okay?
Okay.
All right. To get started out with, maybe if you could just tell us a little bit about your experience, how long you've been doing this, what area of the hospital you work in, and.
I bounce back and forth between the emergency room and critical care, depending on the need. And so, yeah, I deal with a lot of people who are in pretty severe pain. I've been at this hospital for about 10 years.
About 10 years,
and then I've been doing this for about 25.
About 25. Wow, sounds like you have a lot of experience then. When you think about stuff like pain, do you ever feel like it's hard to measure? I mean, when you deal with that, I know there's like different systems of measuring pain. I don't know which one. We're kind of interested in this. I guess it's called the numeric rating scale. The NRS is what most people call it.
Yeah.
And, I mean, do you feel like it's hard to measure their pain, or
Well, yeah, because everybody's pain is usually either a 2 or a 10.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, it either hurts or it hurts really bad.
Right. Right.
And so, yeah, it can be a challenge sometimes to figure out exactly what's going on.
Uh-huh. Okay. Well, I was just thinking a little bit about it. We're kind of trying to figure out if any of your feelings change toward patients, and if maybe that works out this way. So let me give you an example. I have a friend, and his wife had a baby not too long ago, and while they were talking in there, she was kind of going through some of the different pain. And one time when the nurse came in and said, "What pain are you in?" She's like, "I'm like at an 8, right?" And her threshold point was like a 4, and she was talking through. She said, "Hey, I'm really dying here." And the nurse was like, "What happened all of a sudden?" And he said that he got this really strong feeling that the nurse kind of doubted the patient, like what was like you really weren't in that much pain, you just wanted some more medicine because you didn't want the pain to wear off. Do you ever feel like that, like the patient's way off of what your judgment is, or?
I'm not the one in pain,
You're not.
So it's I'm not sure that's.
Well, come on. I mean, don't you feel a little bit like that though? Aren't there times when you do?
I'd probably be more comfortable if you referred that to one of the administrators.
Okay.
Because that has to do with patient care, and I'm not sure I can answer that.
Okay. Well, can you can you think of any experiences that might relate to this? Because this is really important. Because you can imagine if you're a patient. Like if I was a patient and I came in and I thought the nurse wasn't going to believe me and I was in a lot of pain. I mean, that seems like it would affect a great deal what you're doing.
It can.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it affects me, but it can affect people because you're looking at somebody going, come on, it can't hurt that bad.
It seems like you're holding back a little bit on me. Is this, I mean, are you worried about, you know, I didn't bring an informed consent, we have it, or are you worried about your boss, your manager seeing it? I mean, what's the problem?
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what's going to happen with this, and you know, I could get in trouble if I release too much information about patients. I mean, there's fines and all kinds of stuff that goes on, so I have to be real careful that I don't mention anybody by name or anything that could be pinned to one particular person.
Well, and I get that and appreciate it, but I guess what I'm thinking about is, as we kind of go through here, I'm going to offer you the same kind of confidentiality protections, you know, that you'd probably give somebody. It's like, we won't have your name, you know, it'll be like, you know, nurse number 52 or whatever, or some kind of pseudonym. So it's not like they'll be able to trace, like, you know, your comments to, you know, Lee Byers RN. Does that make it easier for you to answer it?
Then why is my name on the tape?
Well, we just need to know so we can, you know, because we don't know faces and stuff. So when we like deal with the data later and transcribe it and that kind of stuff, then we need to be able to match things up so we make sure that we know where the comments came from.
And so how does that all get locked away or whatever? I mean, it's there.
Well, what the professor told me we were planning on doing was just taking that information and then we're just going to give it to her, and she'll just put it in her office and lock it up. So anyway, so that's what I'm doing. But this dumb thing. Anyway, okay. Well, let me see if I can do a couple other things. One of the other things we're interested in about pain is how do you feel like other nurses do as far as dealing with pain? I mean, do you think that they like the NRS pain scale, or you seem to be so-so about it? How do you think other people that you work with?
It's hard to say. I mean, it's what the hospital uses, so it's what we use.
Does that mean it works? I mean, that's. I mean, I don't mean to be rude, but that's kind of a lame answer. You know, that's what the hospital uses. I mean, what?
Well,
do you like it?
It's what we have to use, whether we like it or not. I mean, you know, you don't like the recorder too much, but you have to use it because what the professor gave you, and that's the tool that the hospital has chosen. And so, you know.
Well, I could kind of see that. So if you had to answer, you know, just simply, does the NRS pain scale work effectively? And just say yes or no on that.
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
Some people have a better grasp of what their pain is than others. Like I said, some people, they go, yeah, I'm a 3, and you know, by the time I get to a 5, you better give me something, because if I get past that, I can't deal with it. And other people are like, I hurt.
Okay, but
now I hurt really
here's
bad.
What I'm after, though, and I don't mean to always interrupt you, but we really need to get to the right answers here. Do you think it's effective? I mean, is it or not? And that's what we want to know.
No, because it floats. I mean, you know, your 3 is my 8, or vice versa. And, and so it's hard to give medications based on somebody saying, yeah, I'm at a 5.
So what you're kind of saying is that the hospital uses it because they think it works, but as a practitioner, you don't. That's kind of what I'm hearing.
The hospital uses it because I've chosen to, and so we use it because that's what the hospital tells us to. But yeah, you know, there are times when I'm just not seeing a good result from this.
Okay, so let's shift gears for a second. Then what? Is there anything else you want to tell me about the pain scale?
No, not really.
No. Okay. Why not?
Because it's, you know, my opinions are my opinions, and I can't speak for the hospital, and so.
Okay. So, okay. Well, that's too bad. It sounds like they might have kind of a tight hold on you. Well, I guess that's probably all that we should look at then. Oh, man. Anyway, thanks. I've got another appointment to get to, so I probably should wrap this up. Is there anything else you want me to to record?
When can you get me a copy of the informed thing?
You know, I'll have to check with my professor on that. I'm sure she could send one over. I've got to go because, like I mentioned, I've got a bunch of these interviews, and I've got to get them out of the way because I have a lot of things to do and get those done. But after I get done tonight, I'll send her an email or something, and I'm sure she can get it to you tomorrow. So anyway, that should be good.
Can you give me the professor's name and phone number?
Yeah, I'll do that. How about if I just leave you with a note or something, and then we'll just go from there. Here, in fact, here's her name. You can just have that, and then She gave me that. So anyway.
Okay.
But I've got to go, so good. I hope this worked again. But thanks a lot. I appreciate it. I know you're busy and blah,
No
blah,
problem.
blah. But who isn't, right? Okay, thanks.